Right now, City Power is also working on repairing damage done by rolling blackouts. eNCA reporter Heidi Giokos is out and about and has been talking to officials and residents this morning. She joins us now live to tell us more. Heidi, I wonder what City Power has said to you, if you're still with them, after the announcement that Eskom is actually extending the hours or the amount of time we'll be experiencing stage 6.
So, Maseko, they've actually left for the day, but we're still at substations where there are massive problems, and this has all got to do with load shedding. City Power has indicated to us that they themselves cannot deal with the load shedding, and they cannot keep up with the load shedding schedule. What's significant here is the fact that City Power has indicated that when there is load shedding, they have to physically get technicians out to go and switch off the power to various sections and then switch it back on when the load shedding has ended or has been suspended, or there's a different stage of load shedding and new schedules that have been sent out. It's a massive problem for City Power. They are not keeping up, but also, Maseko, the substations are not able to handle the amount of load shedding that we are experiencing. Before we listen to what the MMC for Environment and Infrastructure, Michael Sun, had to say, we have spoken to residents and community members in the area here in Crosby, and they have had a double blow because their substation burnt yesterday, and they had not had power 2 days before that because of load shedding. Now, what we do understand is that there might be, this substation might be repaired later this afternoon. Maybe I can just ask my colleague Tebogo to just show you. They are working extensively here, but now there's load shedding that's going to start. Stage 6 is going to begin once again. So the community here, even if the substation starts working again, they will be subjected to load shedding. So it's a massive problem. Residents are not coping. People have had to move out of the area, have had to go stay with friends because their medication needs to be refrigerated, and that's not happening because of the constant power cuts and blackouts. Let's listen to what some of the community members told us earlier.
The area is coupled with a couple of challenges. The infrastructure, obviously the illegal connections, and then you find in the constant load shedding, where when load shedding is completed because of those issues with cables either illegally connected or the strain on the grid, that people are not getting their power back. And because of the constant load shedding, before the next load shedding sets in, they're unable to fix it, and then as a result people are out of power for 24, 48 hours. There's been some people out for 72 hours.
And then this year again, now this is the third day we don't have power. Everything is thawing out. It's cold. I'm 70, and I don't know, I just want to cry.
It's now from Tuesday that we don't have, that the thing burnt out, but actually we sat without power since Sunday. We only had power Monday for a couple of hours with load shedding, and then it burned. I mean, I feel it's very unsafe for the kids even to play outside because this place isn't secure enough. I mean, anybody can go in and sabotage it. I don't say it was sabotaged, but it was, I mean, really, it's coming to a place where you can't even sell your house on this side because it's not safe, it's not a secure place. It's load shedding is running in this street for more than 4 or 5 days on a time, and then they want to go to another level where we're going to sit without power for another 6 hours.
What has MMC Michael Sun said, especially about infrastructure in Johannesburg? This has been a question for some time in terms of them maintaining infrastructure. Is that not where the problem is?
So what we know, Maseko, is that the MMC, Michael Sun, together with the CEO of City Power, were in Cape Town this past weekend to try and understand the model and the policy that's being used by the City of Cape Town. Because what we know is that when there's load shedding, for example, for the rest of the country, and it's stage 6, the City of Cape Town is able to implement stage 4 for its residents instead of stage 6. And that solely has to do with the fact that they are not dependent solely on on Eskom. They are able to depend on the fact that they have other, for example, IPPs, solar, whatever else it might be. The aging infrastructure is a massive problem, Masego. These substations, some of them built in the 80s, still look like they did in the 80s. Massive security concerns as well, and this is something that the MMC says they are trying to deal with. But the other big issue, Masego, and I think we must highlight, is that you sort something out now, and then in a week's time it's back to the same old problem. And the MMC, of course, together with other city officials, has a massive challenge to try and deal with that. It's unfortunate that we are now on the opposite side, and it's going to be a challenge. But in front of me, and we'll have these visuals on eNCA later on, in front of me you have a house that's believed to have about 50 people occupying that house. The electricity has been cut off to that particular house because of the fact that there's just too many people in that house. They themselves, Masego, it's shocking to see, and the MMC was here, City Power was here, they saw it themselves. They've connected a cable to the house themselves. Every time the power gets cut off, they just connect a cable directly to the house. There's no other cabling, it's all underground. But this particular house has cabling directly to it above the house. And it shows you the massive challenges that the city is facing at the moment. But that doesn't justify it, and the patience of residents is getting very thin, because people are saying we cannot deal with this anymore. We pay for these services, we deserve to have electricity. Let's listen to what the MMC Michael Son had to say.
6 months. 6 months is the time frame we are looking at. We can't wait any longer. Load shedding is going to be a thing of the present, and unfortunately I just don't see that we're getting away from load shedding. Eskom has many issues that they need to resolve, and us as municipalities we really need to do more to ensure that we don't wait on anyone else, but we go out proactively and progressively to ensure that we find alternative energy supply. Cape Town has a different geographical setup which we don't have, but the things we're looking at, solar, wind, even hydrogen, a lot of other alternative supply resources that we will certainly tap into, ensure that our residents no longer have to put up and suffer those outages.
All right, Heidi Giokos in Johannesburg with that report. Let's leave it there for now.